Hey y'all, coming to you from a really painful day in the woods. I decided to be old. I was using a chainsaw bent over, and when the log cut and fell, and then I stood up, I was done. That was it. So too much bending over for me, I think. And not enough yoga. I've been slacking on that yoga and I know it. I can feel it. And now I'm in pain and paying for it. So I've been doing some rolling ball moves, stretches, very light, very mild. I am somewhat upright. I have kind of a lean to this side over here. Very back, top of the hip bone. I'm thinking like sciatica something or other. It's not going down my leg, it's like wrapping around the front of my hip, like back to front, but it's in the middle of my back. If I sit right, it kind of goes down like my buttock, but not like down my leg like a lot of the sciaticas are saying. So anywho, I'm just going to carefully put on something I can step in without bending over. Gonna put some shoes on, and we're just gonna take a short walk up to see Eric. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of hobble up here. I try to go straight, but it's like an electric shock, so I get pushed back over here. But I finally downloaded some of my freaking video, so I can try to do some catch up. It's just gonna be like cut. I just can't keep up with the pain and the gardening and the house. I mean, I just had a garage sale. We've got to transfer things. And then the truck broke again. Eric was smelling diesel. And it looks like we needed new fuel lines, which ran like over $400. And now Eric's under the truck replacing fuel lines. He was just going to try to do one, the leaky one, but then it was like all corroded. You know how it goes. So yeah, Eric is down there in that ungodly mess. I can't really bend over. So let's see, maybe you'll get a side view. There we go. Eric's down here drinking diesel without me.
And the good stuff. I hoard that shit up for myself.
Yeah. Got the awesome creeper out for the above parts, it looks like. Gas lines for the top. Gas lines for the bottom. So far, what's the easiest part?
Easy.
Getting in and out?
What's easy? What is this easy you speak of?
Things that come apart without having to cut them off? None of that, huh? Okay.
Well, the mounts on the frame, that was about it. Fortunate enough to have those just kind of come right the hell apart. Pieces that bolted to the frame to hold it all along here. The frame, there's bolts hold it from the inside. We're almost there. I gotta cut 2 more pieces out of this. Well, cut this piece and all the old pieces should be out.
Awesome.
Everything in the back's back in, and I got a set of lines in the back.
And that's as much as I can bend over. It just was a big rusty pile.
Yeah.
Nothing easy about it. That's why it fell apart.
Well, and I'm gonna have to get the welder out before too long. Those are gonna hold the drive shaft down on the driver's side.
Uh-oh.
We're losing a little tidbit of frame, but they actually have repair pieces for that. I can take that.
Looks like the diesel didn't run too far, but far enough to make a nice mess.
Man, you kick me them side cutters on the other side?
Yeah. Oh, I see that big leaky part right there. It looks like our main culprit.
Yep. There's a couple of them that were not in very good shape.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'll leave you back to it. I'm gonna go walk down here. Maybe we'll see if we can make it to the garden. Good luck, my love. In the next week, I've got to go to town. So, the truck had to be done. Because he doesn't want me to take these, because I'm the finisher. Fudge. Ugh. Ooh. Yeah. I've been picking wood up all week with Eric, and I've not had good form. And I've also, like I said, not been doing stretches like I should be, so you don't use it, you lose it. And I've lost it in my spine. I'm hoping that I've got a few stretches that make it feel a lot better for just a minute. So I think I'm heading to the right path. But then after I walk a few more steps, it just feels like it's back. But I do feel like I'm more upright today than I was yesterday, so that's good. And I bit my tongue, so I got a little more of a lisp. Just a little whole side of my tongue. Just bit right down it. You know when you're eating something good and you're just so hungry and it tastes good. So we do have the fence up, which is huge. Like, the dogs are loving it. And like I said, I've been doing life, doing the gardening, putting things in the ground, hanging out with the dogs back here. The cat's even been coming outside with the dogs. I'd love to get that on tape. Oh, we planted some mushrooms. I've got that already. I planted this little cute garden of flowers. And then the deer came and ate my hosta, so I had to add this piece of fence. We went and got some cinder blocks, so I lifted those recently and carried them and made that table for our outdoor stuff. I haven't been outside all day. So it just feels nice just to be outside. Even if I'm in pain, it's nice to be out. Oh, shit. We've got our sprinkler sets hooked up to the front now, so we've got automatic watering. And I'm still like drawing and redrawing the map to figure out which way exactly the garden's gonna go, because I have to utilize every drop of water the best I can. And there's already hundreds and hundreds of feet of hose out here, so I just have to make it work the best. So we've got these last 5 trees cleaned up, and it broke me. Oh, shit. I still have all these to plant. I have quite a few to plant here. This elderberry, though, look at how happy this elderberry is. And we took clones off of it already, and they're looking really good. I've got some broccoli, and I've got a couple blueberries here that I need to put in this garden over here. So we'll get there. And so far, my first row over here besides the garden is here. And I'm debating on just putting some of the things that we've got over here. So I've got this hose that goes over here, and I've got some extra. I have put 2 of these sprinkler sets together, and I'm not going to put all 10 heads on it, so I keep my pressure. But, I mean, that head will sprinkle and get quite a few things. So, broccoli, hosta, I think that's another broccoli. One's a broccoli, one's a collard. Actually, that's probably a broccoli. That looks more like a collard. I'm literally guerrilla planting, and I planted so much collards and broccoli. They look alike. And some of them I didn't write the names down. And some of them are in old cups. Like this one says Swiss chard, and it's clearly a broccoli or a collard. I'm gonna say broccoli though. Most of these are gonna be broccolis. But isn't this little hill I made pretty? I actually went and bought some flowers. I brought these. This one's for you, Ange. A friend of mine gave me a bunch of flowers when we lived at the old house, and she helped me dig them up and bring them to our property down the road, and I went down to visit it, and it was been so dry this month. They looked like they weren't going to make it, so I did like an emergency dig up and took as much as I could, and I saved them. These are actually already growing taller. The red hot pokers, my bee balm, hostas, I forget what kind of echinacea. That's not echinacea. It's some sort of just a flower. Hostas, iris, daylilies. Oh, my peony. A friend from a long time ago gave me a peony at the house, and I only got it to bloom like twice. And the other years it was big and pretty, but it just wasn't blooming for some reason. And then I brought it over to this property, and look how tiny it is. Like, I can't bend over, but there's my foot. So these are all just super dehydrated. But this is my row. This fence row, get this hair out of my face. This fence row behind me is kind of like row number 1. Then I might come back up with garden beds here for row number 2. At the end of this is this red bud. Way over there is that garden bed that's tilled, and we've got a red bud and asparagus. There is a goji berry there too that's permanent. So it's just going to evolve. Gardens are forever, right? You're forever working on them, and we're still establishing, so I'll just go down my first row here. So my first row is my back pain. Starts with our little flower bed, and then we've got, this is a John's elderberry. A John's elderberry. That big one over there that I still have to plant is the Adams. Got a hosta. I put a bunch of sage seed sprouts that I got, so hopefully that bushes into a nice big sage. And then we planted in here, this is chicken of the woods. Oh, I forgot to say, this stump over here is inoculated with hen of the woods. I've got another chicken and another hen, and this tall one is inoculated with 3 chicken plugs, just for the future. So we should be getting mushrooms out of this for many years. So I just did like a little flower garden around this as well with our elderberry, which will get, the elderberry is going to be like a big old bush. So I made sure I leave plenty of room for that. This is just a hodgepodge over here. When we first moved here 2 or 3 years ago, I had 2 grapes. The cards have fallen out. I don't know what kind they are. I'm guessing I have a Concord and a dessert grape. I could have 2 different, I could have a red and a green dessert grape. I honestly have no idea. I do have a friend, Ange. She is cultivating me a Concord grape as well. And I have 2 more kiwis to plant. So the huge vines here is going to be 1, 2, I'm going to have 3 grapes total and 3 kiwis total. I've got an Anna kiwi, the female, which grows big and beautiful. I've got an Acai kiwi that is like the medium but still large, I guess. Like it could engulf a tractor, like what do you call those? A trumpet flower, those trumpet vines. They just engulf things. So I've got a couple of just annual things here as well. I've got some I put some more broccoli. I'm just guerrilla planting, really. I've got a tomato. I put bean seeds in the ground. We'll see if we get any. The grass, I was questioning that. I had to back it up because I think it's composting hot for the bean seeds, so I backed it up. Eric had started a moringa inside, and he just wanted to see how big it would get, so I just planted it, and now I see these bugs on it. We cannot have that. I don't want nothing sucking off of it. Don't want it to get sucked off. Like in that show Vikings, if you watch that. Nope, it's not the show Vikings, it's Ghosts. There's a Viking on Ghosts. A TV show called Ghosts. I like it, it's funny. So anyway, the grape, We've got our elderberry, our flowers and mushrooms, grape, annuals. This maple will stay. It gives really good shade to this area. And we've got a royalty raspberry. There was a heritage, but it's way over there on the fence now. A parsley. Oh man, this is so beautiful and it smells delicious. Asiatics. More broccoli. This is the other grape. Hosta. This is where Eric keeps his chainsaw. It's a chainsaw stand. My pollinator kiwi, I don't think's gonna make it. So we'll probably have to get another one of those. And then I've got this. Look at that. Brown turkey fig. I'm so excited about that one. I really want to see those turkey figs. So all I've got here is 1,000 lines of hosing. One hose goes all the way to the front to get the front trees that we have planted. The green giant thuas that will get up to 30 to 60 feet tall. They grow about 3 feet a year once established. I've got, this is a 4-place timer, and you can see I'm only using 2 of them. And I've just run them for about a half hour. So this waters, there's a waterer, and you can put these wherever you need to. This is the Nelson sprinkling kit, which I don't know if they're making anymore. I'm trying to get a warranty on one that's broken, and it's been like a month through Menards, so. But this is amazing. This is a lifesaver. If you have a hard time watering or getting out there every day and making sure things have enough water, get a timer. They have 2-place, 1-place, 4-place, all different ones. So we're still got some room to clean up here. I'm gonna make little islands. I call them MZ Islands, and I'll tell you why. I worked with a guy named MZ, and he was awesome. He was an older gentleman, and him and his husband had the most beautiful yard, and they had little islands and trails going through the whole yard, and there's just a pop-up bench and flowers and just random stuff in these like little nooks and crannies in the yard that they just kept up and cleaned. So there'll be trails and MZ Islands everywhere. And there might even be a pool eventually. Eric wants to do a hillbilly hot tub. But here's my second sprinkler line. And it starts here with the red bud, this beautiful bleeding heart that I've got to get in the ground. This was from my mom. Got this from my grandmother in Illinois, I believe. So this is like a heritage passed down bleeding heart, so I've got to take good care of it and make many clones, because I would love to have these everywhere too. So bleeding heart, kiwi and redwood are on this sprinkler here. Here's the kiwi, and I've got a little vine started, and this is trellis is gonna probably end up, I'm not gonna let it hoop like this. This end is gonna go up, so this is all gonna be a flat, more of a, not a gazebo, but what do you call that stuff? Lattice or something, like on the top. So it's just stronger. So this side will bend up and then it'll go straight over. And I don't know how much bigger it will get than that. I'm assuming I'm gonna need maybe another line of this stuff going down. So it'll be a kiwi here, and then I'll probably put another kiwi a little bit further down so I can share sprinklers. But this is just our first little tilled garden. From the house, we haven't planted yet, but we've got several gingers. Ouch. Oh God. Tripped on some uneven ground, go figure. Plenty of pokeweed I have to dig up. Ginger, turmeric. This here, that is my goji berry down there. I'm gonna have to come out here and weed this as soon as my back comes back and I can get on my hands and knees and weed the garden. Which will be hopefully soon. I'm going to be slowly working on the yoga with this, but anyway. Swiss chard, collards, kale, these walking onions that are amazing. You can basically eat these onions all year long, and the bigger they are, the more like pepper they taste. They're huge, they're amazing. And they're just pretty. Look how pretty they are. Those are probably 3 feet tall. I'd like to build like a wall of beans and corn. our asparagus, our actual asparagus. We're letting this go to seed and just gonna let it frond out a little this year. I gotta get in there and pick this raspberry that escaped off of my heritage raspberry that was over here and is way over there by the fence. So we gotta clear this, add another kiwi. I think this might end up being Blueberry Row or Blueberry Alley. This is gonna be the blueberry area. There's already wild blueberries, be careful. Got some corn down the back side here. But these are all like, I don't know if they're service berries or low bush blueberries or low bush, high bush blueberries. There's some sort of wild blueberry or huckleberry. I still haven't figured out the difference on how the huckleberry grows different from the blueberry. So. But look at these guys, they're so tall. And they're so pretty, look at that. And they're called walking onions because they get their seed heads and they get so heavy. Oh, for frick's sake. These seed heads get heavy and then the onion falls over and they plant themselves and they keep walking. Looks like Eric is taking a break. So, got stumps to remove. We're gonna try to keep all the white pines. Still have tree stuff to clean up here. Oh man, but Eric worked really hard getting these out of the ground so we can plant on flat land and not have to go around these. Plus the ants really like taking these up as houses. And we got plenty of ants. Just 2 little garden spots right now. Well, 3, because really, technically, I mean the front, it's plants. There's an apple tree out there. I want to put a bunch of fruit trees down the line of this. We have like a central aisle here, like a big trail to drive in. And we'll have some dirt delivered. Stepping up is not comfortable. We've got, I think this is a peach hanging out here. Yep, we've got a peach tree waiting to go in the ground and it's around the sprinkler. Got my lilacs ready to go in the ground. They're so happy. Those were cuttings I took last year. Thua. This is an apple tree the caterpillars are trying to eat. I tried to put corn in the corner and it looks like some of them are actually standing back up. And up here I've got a 2-place timer, so I've got 1 sprinkler watering these 8 thuas plus all the little ones around them, and then this one goes to a giant sprinkler, the kind out there, and that gets some of the stuff in the back. There's a mulberry and a bunch of these green giant thuas. I'm not going to walk back there right now for obvious reasons, but I moved all of his little thuas around the sprinkler. This one waters both of those. So utilize the water you got, right? So these are all doing really good over here, it looks like. Oh yeah, look at that light green fresh growth on those. Oh yeah. So these ones are, you can see they're like hip high, a little higher than hip high. We'll see what happens next year. Alright, I'm gonna go back and do some more stretches. There's an airplane stretch and some hip rolls that have been feeling pretty good. So, alright, let's hobble our way back inside. Ooh. I was gonna say, did the diesel eat through to your asshole? Got some gorilla plants. I tried to leave the cups for at least 1 year, so I remember I put some mint there. And I put some there where there's the red cup. I love when the lawnmower hits the mint. Alright, enough watching me suffer and hobble into the house. I'll catch you guys next time. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching.